Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Adalini binti Azim. My matric number is 1201493. Today we from group 2 will present to you about our topic assignment, which is Al-Wadi'ah. So firstly, we look at the definition of Wadi'ah. As we know, Wadi'ah is a contract by which an owned asset is placed with another party on the basis of trusteeship, or in Malay we call as amanah, for safekeeping purposes, which also referred as Wadi'ah yad amanah. And apart from that, the definition of Wadi'ah also may include Wadi'ah yad dhamanah, which refers to a safekeeping contract whereby permission to utilize the asset placed in custody is granted by the safekeeping depositor, and or a fee is charged by the custodian for the safekeeping service.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Hafizah binti Arshad and my matric number is 1201503. So, there are two types of Wadi'ah, which is Wadi'ah yad amanah and Wadi'ah yad damanah. Wadi'ah yad amanah, it is basically involves safe custody of deposit based on trust. So, the custodian of the property maintains safekeeping of the funds with due diligence without receiving any profit, and he is not responsible for any damages except due his negligence. Lastly, the custodian bound to return the funds or property on demand and cannot use the asset for investment. And for Wadi'ah yad damanah, this is the combination between safekeeping al-Wadi'ah and guarantee daman. It is basically acts as guaranteed safe custody. This type deposit facilities wider application in the Islamic banking system, particularly where the deposits are the sources of funds for bank. Some of the features, which is the custodian is entitled to use the deposit property for trading or any other purposes. Banks can utilize the property for investment purposes and have a right to receive profits generated by funds. Lastly, they may also be fully responsible for the damage.
Okay, next we move to the other topic, which is component of Wadi'ah. Component of Wadi'ah consists of three components. First component is contracting parties, which consists of comprising a custodian or we call wadi' and a safekeeping depositor or we call mudir. Second component is offer or ijab and acceptance or qabul. And last component is Wadi'ah asset.
Contracting parties in Wadi'ah, it should be the custodian and a safekeeping depositors of a Wadi'ah asset, and it must be a natural person or a legal entity that must have the legal capacity to enter into a Wadi'ah contract. And then the safekeeping depositors must be the owner or a person who has fully legal authority over the ownership of the asset placed in custody. And any party to a Wadi'ah contract may enter into the Wadi'ah contract through an agent or wakil. And then, offer and acceptance in Wadi'ah. Firstly, the Wadi'ah contract must be entered into through an offer and acceptance between the contracting parties. And second, the offer and acceptance may be expressed orally, in writing, or by any other methods recognized by Sharia. And then, the legitimacy of Wadi'ah is derived from the Quran and founded on the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad and the consensus of Muslim jurists, which is ijma'. In Quran, although the concept of Wadi'ah is not specifically mentioned in the Quran, the concept of trustworthiness, which is an important feature of Wadi'ah, is expressed in several places in the Quran. The word trust or amanah is used in the Quran to indicate the importance of fulfilling all types of trust, including that of safekeeping Wadi'ah and returning the amanah when it is due. As you can see on the screen, these are the following Quran verses imply the general permissibility of Wadi'ah. The following hadiths imply the general permissibility of Wadi'ah, which is the first one is Aisyah narrated that on the occasion of the Prophet's migration to Medina, which means the Messenger of Allah asked Ali to take his place in Mecca in order to deliver the deposited things to the owners. And from Abu Hurairah narrated that Prophet Muhammad said, "Return the trust to those who entrusted you and do not betray those who betray you." For ijma', Muslim jurists have reached ijma' on the permissibility of Wadi'ah. The scholars from every single era of the Islamic eras had come to a consensus on the permissibility of the Wadi'ah contract, since it is desired by the people in general to the extent that it is actually an essential and vital contract for the society.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur Shafia binti Sarudin. My metric number 1201505. Today I'm going to explain about the covenant of wadi'ah. Firstly, a custodian may accept an asset placed in his custody because there is no restriction prevent the custodian from ascertaining the lawful status of the asset placed in custody. And then secondly, the custodian shall not accept any asset to be placed in custody if such asset is not recognized by the Sharia. Next, the parties of contracting may agree to the payment of a fee for the service of safekeeping the asset placed in custody to custodian. And lastly, the custodian may accept money generated from a voidable contract as a wadi'ah asset. That's all from me.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nabil. My matrix number 1201496. Wadi'ah access. A wadi'ah access under a wadi'ah contract should be an asset that is deliverable, consistent with the principle of Sharia, and identifiable. Next, wadi'ah access. In Islamic finances, institutions should ensure that the wadi'ah access meets the eligibility criteria or not in the non-permissible list of wadi'ah access as set out in the improved internal policy. And in Islamic financial institutions must ascertain the nature of type of wadi'ah access period or to entering the wadi'ah contract with the customer. Next, an IFE should require the customer to declare that the wadi'ah access complies with Sharia requirements, and in the event where the details of the wadi'ah access are incomplete or uncertain, and IFE may refuse to accept such access without having to provide its reasons. And the IFE should ensure that the safekeeping method adopted by IFE or by a party takes into account the nature of the access, for example, its size, fragility, and such a safekeeping method should be open between the customer and the IFE prior to the exertions of a wadi'ah contract. That's all from me.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nur Elisa binti Muhammad Asri, metric number 1201504. Next, safekeeping of the wadi'ah asset. So the custodian must ensure the safety of the wadi'ah asset placed in custody and must act in the interest of the safekeeping depositor. Method of safekeeping of the wadi'ah asset. So firstly, it may be determined between the contracting parties, which is the custodian and the safekeeping depositor. And it also may be based on customary business practice, which is uruf tijari. Uruf tijari is a customary business practice which is acceptable by the community and does not contradict to the Sharia rulings. Lastly, it may be based on the nature of wadi'ah asset placed in custody. Liability for loss or damage to the wadi'ah asset. The custodian must not be liable for any loss or damages to the wadi'ah asset under the wadi'ah contract, except for those arising from his own, first, misconduct, or in Arabic we call it as ta'addi, second, negligence, taksir, and the last one is breach of specified terms, muhalafah ash-shurut. Effect of dissolution or completion of wadi'ah contract. So, upon the dissolution or completion of the wadi'ah contract, the safekeeping depositor must be responsible for collecting the wadi'ah asset, and the custodian must return the wadi'ah asset to the safekeeping depositor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Syuhada binti Ishaq. My metric number is 1201500. I will continue with the last part of this topic, which is dissolution of wadi'ah. A wadi'ah contract is dissolved upon the occurrence of the following. First, unilateral termination of the wadi'ah contract by either one of the contracting parties, which means either of the contracting parties may unilaterally terminate the wadi'ah contract. Second, termination of the wadi'ah contract by mutual agreement of both contracting parties. Third, demise, dissolution or loss of legal capacity of either contracting parties. It means loss of legal ability of either contracting party, which is demise in the case of an individual, or dissolution in the case of a legal entity. Fourth, change of ownership of the wadi'ah asset. Next, collection of wadi'ah asset after demise or dissolution of the safekeeping depositor. Upon the dissolution of a wadi'ah contract due to demise or dissolution of a safekeeping depositor, the legal representative or heirs of the demised safekeeping depositor is responsible for collecting the wadi'ah asset from the custodian, which means the legal representative or heirs of the late safekeeping depositor liable for retrieving the wadi'ah asset from the custodian when a wadi'ah contract is terminated due to the death or dissolution of the safekeeping depositor. Also, the custodian must not be held responsible in ensuring that the wadi'ah asset of the deceased safekeeping depositor is administered according to the applicable laws for distribution of a deceased person's asset or Shariah law of distribution. It means that the custodian cannot be held liable for ensuring that the dead safekeeping depositor's wadi'ah asset is distributed in accordance with the applicable laws or Shariah law of distribution, which means faraid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Karul Anam. My metric numbers is 1201491. So I will talk about the application of wadi'ah in Islamic bank. First, we have saving deposits. All Islamic bank operate savings deposit account. However, the operation of these accounts is variety at different banks. Generally, a saving deposit permits customer to deposit and withdraw their money at any time and does not require a minimum balance in the deposit account. It does not have maturity date. Therefore, the cash can be withdrawn at any time based on the customer's demand. Generally, Islamic financial institutions structures their saving accounts based on Sharia principle, either in form of qad, wadi'ah domana, or mudharabah saving account, saving deposits. Okay, number 2 is current deposit. Current deposit account is a form of demand deposit that offers users safekeeping of their cash deposit and the charge to be paid in full upon demand. Current account deposit facilities are usually offered the either individuals or companies. They also share similar features with saving deposits as it permits for the cash to be withdrawn at any time. The main point of departure between current deposit and saving deposit were to withdraw more than what is sufficient in their balance. There will also be no charge around. No charge incurred. In the US, current deposit is prominently known as checking account or demand deposit. The three common structures of a current deposit in Islamic financial are qad, wadi'ah, damana, and mudharabah current deposit. Generally, no return is given in this deposit in the ground that such deposit takes the form of loan given to Islamic bank, and the loan cannot carry any return. They are kept as amanah. Bank shall guarantee the principal amount of deposit. A further condition for such an incentive is that they should not be offered regularly. This is because with the passage of time, the practice will become customary and in return take on ruling benefits stipulated in the contract of deposit. Okay, next, term deposit. A term deposit is a type of arrangement where the customer deposit are held at the bank for fixed time. The deposits will be then deposited to a number of investment pools where it will be invested in a business activities which are according to the Sharia. The money deposited in the term deposit can only be withdrawn at the end of the terms as stated in the contract or by giving a predetermined numbers of days as notice. Usually, term deposits are short-term deposits where the maturities are within a period of time, period of 1 month or a few years to a few years. And Islamic term deposit is commonly structured based on the commodity, murabahah, wakalah, unrestricted investment, and mudarabah, general investment. And lastly, the investment deposit. The investment deposit is usually known as profit and loss sharing, PLS account, or simply the investment account. The ratio of profit distribution between the bank and the depositor shall be agreed at a time of accounting agreement, accounting opening subject to the Sharia. Accounting opening subject to the Sharia, that a partner may agree on ration of profit and losses have to be shared. The concept of wadi'ah and its application in Islamic banking. The main part of departure between the investment deposit and both saving and current deposit is the former is normally structured based on either the mudarabah and wakalah istismar principle, which do not entail a guarantee of either principal or return of profit. Nevertheless, the investment account holders have an opportunity to earn more attractive returns, although there's a risk of of having to bear the risk of capital losses. Okay, next, the mechanism of wadi'ah in Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, BIMB. Okay, and there's two mechanism of wadi'ah. First, in savings account, and secondly in the current account. Okay, firstly, the saving account Bank Islam. The saving account Bank Islam offers the wadi'ah saving account facility for customers to save his money based on the wadi'ah contract. This facility provides hassle. It is a free safekeeping of customers' money and allow easy access to withdraw the money at any time, whenever needed. This account is divided into 3 different types, namely, first, individual account. Individual account is provided for those who are 12 years old and above. Number 2, interest account. Interest account is provided for children under 12 years old and open with an individual adult. And number 3, joint account. Joint account is provided for those who want to open the account jointly with another person. Okay, number 2, the current account Bank Islam offers. The current account Bank Islam offers the current account facility for safe custody of customers' cash. This facility, which is based on the wadi'ah contract, enables customer to wisely plan his monthly expenditure and allows him to manage his financial needs without involving cash. This amount consists of several types. There are individual account, joint account, partnership account, government account, association account, private company account. And the benefits given in this account, which is token or hibah, is given every month based on the bank's discretion. Free check, book holder, bank card facility, salary credited, and sweeping facility, and the others. As the conclusion, wadi'ah in Islamic concept means to keep or save something for a certain of time or to leave it to someone for safekeeping. There are 2 types of wadi'ah. Firstly, wadi'ah yad amanah, and second, wadi'ah yad domanah. And the advantages of wadi'ah account is, in most cases, it does not require a huge amount of money to open the saving account. And this type of saving instrument allow us to make automatic saving plan. And the disadvantages of it's rate changeable according to the financial institutions and its countries. And the differences between the ordinary, meaning the conventional saving account, and the wadi'ah saving account is riba, which is prohibited by the Islam. The bank said that they borrow the money for investment, and for return they offer a certain percentage of return. However, in wadi'ah saving account, the bank will ensure that the money is kept safe and can be withdrawn at any time by the customer. Okay, that's all from us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.